Good day everyone. This is your Vedic astrology coach Rajat Kapoor and welcome to my channel The Legit Astrologer. In my channel I make videos on Vedic astrology. Most importantly, I talk about the important transits and how these transits have an impact on different ascendant signs and also the moon signs. I try to keep the concepts really simple. In case you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell icon. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you wish to book a personalized consultation with me, you can check out the link to my website and also the process of reaching out to me. This video is about Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces. Rahu has recently entered Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra in the 4th pada, and it is going to stay in this Nakshatra in the sign of Pisces till 16th of March 2025. So this last leg of transit that Rahu is making in the sign of Pisces is going to last for about 7 months, and it is a crucial transit. In this video, I'm going to keep the concepts very simple. I'm going to simply explain you how to read a nakshatra based transit. Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Jupiter, their nakshatra transits matter a lot because they spend weeks and months in one particular nakshatra. Therefore, from an activation point of view, from a life path point of view, and for prediction of events, these transits matter a lot. Rahu is in its final stage of moving through the sign of Pisces before it moves to the sign of Aquarius, which is going to happen sometime next year. Now this nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, Shani, and Rahu is quite similar to Shani. There is a saying Shanivat Rahu Kujavat Ketu. So the qualities that Rahu has are quite similar to that of Saturn. Therefore, both Saturn and Rahu have been given the lordship of the sign of Aquarius. Rahu is the co-ruler of the sign of Aquarius. It gets exalted in the sign of Taurus and also in the sign of Gemini. It gets debilitated in the sign of Scorpio and in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, during this last leg of transit, Rahu is making a transit in the sign that is lorded by Guru or Jupiter, and in the nakshatra that is lorded by Saturn or Shani. So the next few months are quite karmic because the nakshatra lord Saturn is already going retrograde till mid of November. Guru or Jupiter is going to go retrograde later this year, and it is going to stay retrograde till early next year. So from that standpoint, it is quite a karmic time. So therefore, the placement of Jupiter and Saturn, they play a very important role in your chart. How they are placed, the houses that they're connected with, the kind of strength that they have, and most importantly, what is the kind of time period that you are running. But this transit is supposed to have an impact on a lot of people. Rahu as the graha is the one who wants to be like Jupiter, who wants to act like Jupiter, not from the good aspects, but from the aspects of expansion, because Jupiter is someone which signifies expansion and Rahu wants to expand. Rahu wants to consume, eat everything in this world. It is a very, very material graha. It has got unlimited desires and at the same time, it has got unlimited potential as well. So this is the brighter side and the dark side of Rahu at the same time. So therefore, if you look at the aspects of Rahu, Rahu has taken these aspects from Jupiter because it wants to be the best. Rahu aspects 5th from its position, 7th and 9th from its position. Some school of thoughts have also said that Rahu also aspects 12th from its placement. But I'm going to focus on the 5th, 7th and the 9th aspect. Rahu during this transit continues to aspect the sign of Cancer, the sign of Virgo and the sign of Scorpio, which are the natural 4th, 6th and the 8th houses. Rahu being in the 12th house, this continues to activate the 4, 8, 12 trine, which is the moksha trine. Therefore, the next 7 months from a spiritual point of view are quite ideal, are quite positive, because Rahu, the natural 11th lord, is making a transit in the natural 12th house in the sign of Jupiter and in the nakshatra of Saturn. So any spiritual practices that you embrace during this time, it is going to give you some long lasting positive results. Also, point to be noted, the Rahu in the Navamsha will be transiting through 4 different signs: the sign of Scorpio, Libra, Virgo and Leo. So therefore, if in your D9 chart you have any prominent planets in the sign of Scorpio, Libra, Virgo, Leo in your Navamsha, and if you're running through its Dasha, Antardasha, Pratantardasha, you're likely to have an impact of this transit. In case you have any planets in the sign of Pisces, in the sign of Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. In case you're running through a Dasha Antardasha of any of these planets, or in case you're running through a Dasha Antardasha of Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Jupiter, you are likely to be impacted by this transit. Therefore, more than 90% of the people in this world are going to have an impact of this transit. Rahu during this transit, in one of my previous videos on Rahu in Pisces, I have said that it is falling in Guru's feet. You have to take Guru's blessings, and at the same time it is going through Saturn's Nakshatra. These are the ruler of the natural 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th houses of the chart, the last 4 houses which play a very important role. The highest Dharma, which is the 9th house, the highest Artha, which is the 10th house, the highest Kama, which is the 11th house, and the highest level of Moksha, which is the 12th house. So therefore, the 4 pillars of all the human beings in this world, the 4 Purusharthas, Jupiter and Saturn play a very important role here, and Rahu's transit in this nakshatra is quite significant. How to read this transit? Since it is making a transit in Saturn's nakshatra, now from a nakshatra point of view, it is activating the 9th cycle. The 9th cycle is all about long distance journeys, travel, religion, fortune, higher learning, a perfect time to upskill, a very good time to travel, explore hidden places in this world and try to rejuvenate yourself, try to recharge yourself. Quite an optimum time. To understand, we need to see the houses that Saturn rule. Those houses are going to be pretty much active, which is the sign of Capricorn and the sign of Aquarius. Wherever these 2 houses fall in your chart, it is going to be pretty much active. Then we have to pay careful attention towards Saturn and where it gets exalted. Saturn gets exalted in the sign of Libra. So the sign of Libra, wherever it is placed in your chart, is going to demonstrate positive results. And where Saturn gets debilitated, which is the sign of Aries, is going to have some sort of challenges or might demonstrate negative results. So wherever it is placed in your chart, you have to pay careful attention over the next few months. Now let's talk about simple tips for each ascendant sign or the moon sign. How Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is going to have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. At a physical level, you must read this transit from the ascendant sign. At a mental level, you can also read this from your moon sign. Let's start with Aries ascendants. For Aries ascendants, Rahu becomes the co-11th lord, and this Rahu is making a transit in the 12th house in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra in Saturn's Nakshatra. So this is your co-11th lord. Rahu co-rules the material house, which is the 11th house. From a perspective of material comforts, your gains, your outer world of friends, events, people, that is making a transit in the 12th house of losses, expenditure, moksha, higher self-consciousness. So your expenses, your gains are going in the house of expenses. Your expenses will naturally see a rise during this transit. So this is something which you might need to curtail, which you might need to focus on. Since it is making a transit in the nakshatra of Saturn, the houses which is ruled by Saturn are your 10th house and the 11th house. These 2 houses will be pretty much active. So that means your career, work, profession, some of the choices that you will need to make over the next few months, you have to watch out for it. And at the same time, as far as gains are concerned, material comforts are concerned, this could be a potentially favorable time, because when your expenses rise, you have to get some support as far as your income is concerned. So there has to be an increase in your income. If later this year you're expecting any increment, promotion, any sort of incentive, this could be a potentially favorable time. If you're looking forward to closing a big business deal, you could have some favors, you could have some support over the next few months. So your career, work, profession, which is the 10th house, and the house of gains, your friends, your wider social network, your ability to influence others, this is pretty much active during this time. The sign of Libra, which is your 7th house, is going to demonstrate some sort of positive results, which means that during the transit of Rahu, which is making a transit in Saturn's nakshatra, is going to have a positive impact on your marriage, on your relationship. For those who are looking forward to settling down or getting married, they could have some favorable circumstances, or they could find a right match for themselves. At the same time, your ascendant, which is the 1st house, the sign of Aries, is going to demonstrate some sort of negative results. Your decision making will be put at test. So you have to be very careful and cautious in terms of making decisions. One of the good remedies for you would be people who are opposite to you, let's say your partner, spouse, someone you are in relationship with, someone who you trust, take their advice, involve them in decision making. People who you work with, involve them in decision making, because you are going to struggle At the same time, you have to take care of your vitality, immunity, your body. Make sure that you eat right, you exercise each and every day. Overall, I do consider Rahu's transit in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra as a positive one in your 12th house, and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Taurus ascendants and simple tips for Taurus ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is concerned, which will last till 16th of March 2025 for the next 7 months. Rahu is your core 10th lord, so it's a very important planet for Taurus ascendants. It is a Karaka Graha because it rules profession for you, your work, your actions in the society, your purpose in life, and it is making a transit in your 11th house where it continues to move in a retrograde motion because that is how Rahu naturally is. It is going to making a transit in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn. So this is your 10th lord, core 10th lord, making a transit in the 11th house. So quite positive, quite productive, and quite progressive as far as workplace related matters are concerned. But here, since it is the nakshatra of Saturn, we have to pay careful attention to 2 houses in your chart, your 9th house and 10th house, which is going to be pretty much active. 9th house is the house of long journeys, higher learning, your fortune, father or father figure. Okay, it is also the house of a guru, your lineage. So this is going to be the focus of the hour, a perfect time to go for higher learning or any sort of course, to take up long journeys, go for distant travels. In case you wish to settle abroad or you've been looking forward to moving outside of your homeland, this could be a potentially favorable time to initiate, to start this journey. Fortune is going to be favorable, and at the same time your 10th house, which is all the workplace related matters, your actions in the society, you will have some support, some favors as far as these matters are concerned. The next important point is that Saturn gets exalted in the sign of Libra, which is your 6th house. That house is going to demonstrate positive results. So at one hand your 10th house is active, the other side 6th house is demonstrating positive results. So anything that you do in your daily routine, you will find yourself to be more productive than ever over the next 7 months. This also means that as far as workplace related matters are concerned, your job, your business, you are likely to be successful in some of these endeavors because we see job from the 6th house and also from the 11th house. For material comforts and gains, the 6th house and 10th house, where we see job from, plays a very important role. So therefore, from that perspective, it looks like a positive transit. In case you've been looking forward to changing your job or getting into a new role, this could create some favorable circumstances for you. On the other side, okay, your 12th house, which is the sign of Aries, is going to demonstrate some negative results because this is where Saturn gets debilitated, the nakshatra lord of current Rahu's transit. So your sleep is going to be put at test. It is going to be disruptive. So you have to focus on getting good, at least 8 hours of sleep so that you stay energized throughout the day and you stay productive throughout the day. You have to also be cautious of hospital visits. So from a karmic standpoint, I would advise you to go for a regular medical checkup. So this way you are, taking the box from a karmic standpoint and you're making that visit, and you're also ensuring that you stay healthy and you focus on your well-being. So this is the ultimate remedy for you during Rahu's transit. Otherwise, I do not consider this as a bad transit because Rahu does very well in the 11th house. It is one of the best transits for Rahu. It is one of the best natal placements for Rahu as well. Because it is one of the Upachaya bhavas and Rahu wants to grow. So this is a growth transit, the final last leg of transit, which could create some very good growth opportunities for you. And for that, I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Gemini ascendants. What's happening with Gemini ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is concerned? Rahu is going to stay in this nakshatra till 16th of March 2025, which is for the next 7 months. Rahu is your co-9th lord because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius. It has been moving in your 10th house. It would have brought some changes in your career, work. It would also have brought in some workplace related politics as well. Authority issues, issues with leaders, issues with co-workers, conflict situation, unnecessary stress and pressure at work. But at the same time, it is making you more resilient. It is making you more strong. It is your 9th lord, after all, making a transit in the 10th house. So from that perspective, it is one of the most favorable Rahu's transit, because this is also an Upachaya Bhava, and Rahu is considered to be very good in the 10th house, one of the ideal placements and transit. Considering if you have a natal strong Jupiter or Saturn in your chart, you are likely to demonstrate some very positive results. Now, the houses that are ruled by Saturn are going to be pretty much active because Rahu is making a transit in Saturn's Nakshatra, which is your 8th house and the 9th house, the sign of Capricorn and the sign of Aquarius. Transformation is inevitable. Sudden changes, sudden decisions, you cannot run away from that. Okay, life could take a sudden turn, so you have to be prepared for change. You have to embrace this change. At the same time, you are likely to take some journeys, spiritual journeys, long distance travel, connect with your father, connect with your guru, be the protector of your dharma. This is the kind of message which this Rahu's transit is giving you. So these are some of the takeaways which you can have. Now, your 5th house, which is a sign of Libra, is going to demonstrate some positive results because this is where Saturn gets exalted. So from a progress point of view, it is quite positive because we see progress from 5th house, because this is one of the Rajya Bhavas, the Bhavas of kingdom. As far as future is concerned, it will make you plan for the future. You would like to set some goals, your targets, and where you were to be or what you were to achieve over the next few months. So this is quite an optimistic transit from that perspective. So if you are looking forward to a change, any progression, promotion, growth, any wealth creating opportunities and new opportunities, this could be a potentially favorable transit. On the same side, your 11th house, which is a sign of Aries, is going to demonstrate some negative results. So in order to have gains, rise of income, you will have to put 10x efforts. So do not shy away from efforts. You'll have to work very, very hard because you're susceptible to immediate sudden changes. So your resilience is going to be put at test. So have plenty of resilience. Any mantras that you use during this time could be highly beneficial, whether it is related to Saturn or Jupiter. So that could give you some very good results. Or use mantras related to Durga or Shakti or Lakshmi as well. Any form of Shakti, you can use the mantras and you will be quite benefited by this transit. Overall, I do not consider this as bad. It is a good transit, the last leg transit for you, because Rahu will be making a transit next year in your 9th house. So be prepared for it, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Cancer Ascendants and what's happening with Cancer Ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is concerned. Rahu has already made this transit. This is a bit of a delayed video, but Rahu is going to stay in this Nakshatra till 16th of March 2025. So we have 7 months of this transit. It is an important one. Rahu is your co-8th lord because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius and is making a transit in your 9th house of Dharma, Bhagya, Fortune, father figure, religion, long distance journeys. Rahu rules longevity for you, sudden ups and downs, changes, places that are across the sea, unknown places and territories. And this Rahu is making a transit in the 9th house. Rahu is not considered most auspicious as far as 9th house is concerned because this is the Dharma Bhava and Rahu is opposite to Dharma, it is Adharma. That is what it signifies. So in order to channelize this Rahu in the positive direction, you must look up to your Jupiter, your Guru, and try to strengthen your Guru. Use mantras related to Guru, use remedies related to Guru. Okay, so this is how you will be able to channelize this Rahu. Now in this transit, you have to pay careful attention to the houses ruled by Saturn because Rahu is making a transit in Saturn's Nakshatra. So your 7th house and 8th house will be pretty much active during this time. So which means marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, those people who are opposite to you. You would like to build relationship with people. You would like to come out of your shell, out in the open, interact, build meaningful, credible relationship, have long-lasting connections. Make sure that you reach out to people if you need help. Even at your workplace, okay, you would likely to make some good, solid relationship, which could give you some help, some advice as well. Your 8th house is also going to be pretty much active, which is transformation, and that is inevitable for you over the next few months. Expect sudden changes, expect sudden decisions, expect unexpected things. Have plenty of patience, build your resilience, the ability to bounce back from adverse situations, because situations are going to go adverse, but towards the end you will emerge out as winner. Okay, your dharma is going to be put at test. You would start believing in something else maybe, or you would start questioning your own dharma. So stay cautious. This is just a phase. It is a temporary phase. It is not permanent. Get a mentor or a guru. You need Guru Diksha. You need advice of your mentor or a guru or a teacher. Make sure you listen to them. Make sure you reach out to them. The sign of Libra, which is the 4th house, that is going to demonstrate some positive results during this time. So, which is your satisfaction, your comfort space, your homeland, mother. So in case you live outside, you would like to connect back with your homeland. You would like to improve relationship with your mother. Your mother might play a very important role in your support. Your satisfaction will be your priority. You would like to take up some hobbies, some things which are of your interest during this time. So this is going to be good. On contrary, your 10th house, which is a sign of Aries, is going to demonstrate some negative results. Expect workplace politics. Expect changes in your job, some unpleasant decisions. So be prepared for it. I hope this is going to be a temporary phase. So you could expect some sort of unwanted or unnecessary changes in your job that you may not like. But at the same time, take advice of your mentor, build credible relationship to help you navigate yourself through these changes. It is not going to be that difficult if you build credible relationships during this time. Otherwise, it could be a challenging transit. Overall, I feel it's a mixed transit of Rahu for you, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Leo Ascendants and what's happening with Leo Ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is concerned. For Leo Ascendants, Rahu becomes your co-7th lord. It co-rules the sign of Aquarius and is making a transit in your 8th house, the ruler of marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, those people who are opposite to you. This is the Jaya Bhava. It represents peace and also war. This Rahu is making a transit in the 8th house of transformation, longevity, sudden changes, sudden ups and downs, sudden decisions in life. Okay, this house is ruled by Jupiter, Guru. So you must look up to your Jupiter. You must strengthen your Jupiter during this time to help you channelize this Rahu in a positive direction appropriately. Now we need to pay careful attention to the houses ruled by Saturn, which is the 6th house and 7th house, which is going to be pretty much active. Whether it will deliver good results or bad results depends on your natal placement of Saturn and also Jupiter. Your 6th house is going to be pretty much active. That means you are likely to get busy with daily routines, daily chores, tasks. This is what the 6th house represents. Any loans you wish to take, any mortgage, this could rather be a favorable time. This could favor you for your own benefit, but that depends on your ongoing dasha antardasha. Now at the same time, your 7th house, which is the house of marriage, partnership, relationship, harmony, those people who are opposite to you, this is going to be pretty much active. So your relationship needs focus, it needs communication, it needs a lot of listening. You have to keep your ego aside and listen to your partner. In case you're looking forward to building credible relationships, this could be a potentially favorable time, because remember, Rahu is making a transit in your 8th house. 8th house is the Mangalya Bhava of your marriage or relationship, because it is second from your 7th house. So Rahu is trying to test your harmony in relationship, and this is the kind of test which you need to pass. Not only pass, but pass with flying colors. Okay. Now Saturn gets exalted in sign of Libra, so your 3rd house is going to demonstrate positive results. Any change, you will be able to cope up with this change. Your valor quotient is going to increase. If you put efforts, you are going to get more results. Less efforts, more results. That is the kind of transit, but you still have to put efforts. Do not shy away from efforts. Your relationship with siblings, your younger siblings particularly, could improve during this time. So these are some of the results of the 3rd house. So from growth point of view, this is quite a progressive transit. Your finances are likely to improve over the next few months. But at the same time, your 9th house is going to demonstrate some negative results. So which means fortune is going to be challenging. So you need to work hard. Any journeys, that could also bring in some challenge, maybe minor health issues. So just take care of it. Build good relationship with your father or father figure. You might need advice of a guru or a mentor during this time. So these are some of the things, and ensure that you do not deviate from the path of righteousness or your dharma. This is the kind of test that Rahu is doing during this transit. Stay on the path of righteousness. Stick to the dharma. embrace it, hold on to it, and be the protector of your own dharma. This is the only remedy which I can suggest to you during this transit, and I wish you the very best. Let's now talk about Virgo ascendants and what's happening with Virgo ascendants as far as Rahu's last leg transit in Pisces is concerned in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra. Rahu is making a transit in the 4th pada of Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn, and Rahu is going to go through all 4 padas, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st, and it's going to stay in this nakshatra till 16th of March 2025 for the next 7 months. Now this Rahu is your co-6th lord. Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius and is making a transit in your 7th house. The co-6th lord, which rules enemies for you, competition, debts and diseases, growth, the kind of job that you have, your daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis, is making a transit in your 7th house of partnership, marriage, relationship, harmony. Rahu is also set to gain directional strength in this house, because this is where Shani or Saturn gains directional strength, and Rahu is very similar to Saturn as far as these significations are concerned. So from a placement perspective, without a doubt, it's a positive transit. A lot of astrologers don't consider Rahu to be good in the 7th house because they say, oh, it will impact your marriage. But that is not the case. In my experience, it delivers very good results because there are blessings of the Digbala Devata during this time. So depending on your placement of Jupiter and also Saturn, you can expect results accordingly. So this Rahu is putting a lot of focus on your marriage, on your relationship, your daily things that you do on a day-to-day basis. That needs a lot of thinking, and that needs to align with your partner or those people who are opposite to you. You have to pay careful attention to the houses ruled by Saturn, which is your 5th house and the 6th house, that are going to be pretty much active. So you are going to be very much futuristic over the next few months. You won't need to think about the future. Plan and put your goals, because this could be quite progressive, because if your 5th house is active, it will create opportunities for growth. It will create opportunities for progression, promotion, incentivization. It could land you to a senior level position in case you are looking forward to having these kind of growth opportunities in your life. So this is quite a favorable transit from that perspective. Your 6th house is going to be pretty much active, which means your daily life and things that you do on a day-to-day basis, that needs some fixing, that needs some attention, and this is where you could do a lot of decluttering in your things that you do on a day-to-day basis, and try to keep as organized as you can, because this is the message of Saturn. Now Saturn gets exalted in the sign of Libra, so your 2nd house is going to demonstrate positive results, which is Dhan Bhava, the Bhava of wealth, your consumption, things that you share with others and what you consume. So from wealth point of view, this is going to increase your income. This is going to create new opportunities for a secondary source of income. So if you wish to start something wherein you have a secondary source of income, the next 7 months, 8 months are quite positive for these matters. Your connection with the family, your care and compassion towards your family, that is going to improve. Do things for your family, work towards your family. This is the message of Saturn for you during this transit. At the same time, the 8th house is likely to demonstrate some sort of negative results. So on a good side, it will keep you away from any unnecessary changes or unnecessary sudden ups and downs in life, right? But from a health point of view, you might have to take care of, some minor health issues. So make sure you keep a check. Make sure what you consume is healthy, is balanced, and at the same time you're exercising each and every day. You try to stay as active as you can. Overall, I consider this as a good transit for you, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Libra ascendants. For Libra ascendants, Rahu becomes an important planet because it's a co-5th lord, and this Rahu is continue making transit in the sign of Pisces, and it has entered Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn or Shani. It's going to stay in this nakshatra till 16th of March. So your 5th lord, the lord that rules your future, your children, progress, this is the Rajya Bhava. This is also the house of corruption. This is the house of creativity. This is the house of speculation. Okay, your interest in creative pursuits, how you think about your future, your deeds that you did in your past life, and how they will fructify and manifest your future and things and events related to your future. This Rahu is making a transit in your 6th house of daily routines, things that you do on a day-to-day basis. 6th house is an Upachaya Bhava. Okay, so from that matter, Rahu does very well in 6th house. 3, 6, 10 and 11, these are some very good placements of Rahu. So from the perspective of overcoming your enemies, destroying your enemies and overcoming any sort of competition, this is going to be a potentially favorable time for you. In case you've been facing issues at your workplace as far as politics are concerned, as far as some sort of blockage is concerned, as far as opposition is concerned, you are going to emerge out as victorious. You are going to overcome all these obstacles during this time which are related to your job. Now, 4th house and 5th house in your chart are ruled by Saturn, which is a sign of Capricorn and Aquarius. These two houses are going to be pretty much active because Rahu is making a transit in the Nakshatra of Saturn. Your comfort space, homeland, your mother, they are going to play a very important role in your support. In case you are thinking of buying a house or any asset or a car, a vehicle, this could be a potentially favorable time to make these decisions over the next few months. You're likely to build your own asset. You're likely to make a major decision with regards to this pursuit in case your Dasha Antardasha is supportive. Your 5th house is going to be pretty much active. That means progress, success. What you do over the next few months are going to be quite instrumental for your future. So make sure that you spend some time with yourself, sit down and pen down your goals, things that you wish to do in future and where you need to improve. Which are those areas where you need to upskill yourself? What are the kind of learning opportunities that you need to create for yourself which could give you success in future? So these are some of the decisions that you have to take. Your 1st house, the sign of Libra, where Saturn gets exalted, is going to demonstrate positive results. So your decision making is going to be good. You will have strength, you will have vitality, you will have immunity, your personality is going to improve. You'll be very conscious about things that you do and of course how you interact with others and how you use your intelligence. So your intelligence is going to evolve during this time. So this is very good from these matters. But your 7th house, the sign of Aries, this is where there could be some challenges. So in your relationship, so make sure that you're not too self-centered that your relationship suffers. So you need to have a very balanced approach during this time and stay cautious. Keep your ego aside. In case you learn something, do not develop a kind of attitude that you know it all, right? So unlearn first, right? Then learn and then relearn and try to sustain your knowledge and stay grounded, as humble as you can. Listen to other people in relationship. Otherwise, your relationship are going to suffer. You are going to have a lot of blockage as far as some of these pursuits are concerned. So people who are opposite to you, these could be people at your workplace, in your life, your partner. So make sure you listen to them, make sure you stay focused in improving these relationships. Otherwise, I consider this as a positive transit for you and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Scorpio Ascendants and what's happening with Scorpio Ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces in the Nakshatra of Uttarabhadrapad is concerned. Rahu has already moved in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra. It is going to stay here till 16th of March 2025. 7 to 8 months, the next 7 to 8 months are quite crucial as far as Rahu's transit is concerned. For Scorpio Ascendants, Rahu becomes your co-4th lord because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius, and this Rahu is making a transit in your 5th house. Is one of the trinal houses. I give 5th house a great importance, but at the same side, Rahu, considering its nature, it is not the most auspicious graha to be placed in the 5th house or to be transiting in the 5th house, but this is transiting in the house of Guru, Jupiter. So depending on the placement of Jupiter and Saturn in your chart, you could expect some results during this time. This Rahu rules your 4th house, which is the house of your home, your comfort space, your mother, your homeland, and of course places where you feel most comfortable. Time to step out of your comfort zone, time to do some altercations at your house, some sort of renovation, some sort of repairs, some sort of restructuring, and also at your mental state, because 4th house is more of your mental state as well and where you are. So time to step out of your comfort zone. You might be in a bit of an uncomfortable situation for the next couple of months as Rahu makes this transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra in your 5th house, because your future is going to be put at test. So you might be a bit uncertain as far as your future is concerned during this time. But if you put some efforts, if you stay resilient, if you stay and stick to your path and be very clear about your goals, success is guaranteed. but there will be some struggle in the first couple of months because Saturn rules third and the fourth house in your chart. Third house is the house of efforts. That is going to be pretty much active. You might have to put 5 times more efforts. You might not see the results. You have to put more efforts. So do not shy away from putting efforts during this time, because these efforts are going to bring growth, are going to bring a positive change. Your fourth house is going to be pretty much active. Your comfort is going to put at test, and at the same time I would advise you to take a break. Also do those things that make you feel happy, that make you feel content. Reach out to those people who you connect with genuinely and naturally, and try to interact with them, try to listen to them, build some meaningful, credible relationships. These relationships would be of good use for you. These will help you in your troubled times. So reach out to those people who you trust to get some support. Now your 12th house is going to be pretty much active during this time. This is where Saturn gets exalted. So you are likely to get a good sleep. You're likely to develop higher self-consciousness. We also see bed comforts, bed pleasures, and this house also plays a role in relationship. So all these pursuits and passion is going to be on a higher side. So this could be exciting for you, in case you're in a relationship, and of course, your desires are going to be quite high. But at the same time, do some charity, do some donations, help people who are sick, donate in hospitals, donate to those who need, and also at the same time declutter your house, clean up and reorganize your house during this time. Your 6th house is likely to demonstrate some negative results. So you might find your daily routine very boring. So you might want to make some changes to make it interesting. As far as enemies are concerned, you might face some opposition. But at the same time, if you continue putting efforts, if you focus on your path, you're likely to overcome any such opposition. But something that you need to be focused on is your daily activities, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Overall, I consider this as a mixed transit for you. Let's now talk about Sagittarius ascendants. For Sagittarius ascendants, Rahu becomes a co-third lord because Rahu co-rules the sign of Aquarius, and this Rahu is making a transit in your 4th house. Rahu continues to make transit in the sign of Pisces in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra. This Nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, and Rahu is going to stay in this Nakshatra till 16th of March 2025. So over the next 7 to 8 months are quite crucial, because we need to understand the placement of Jupiter and Saturn in your chart, and likely you can link with the results, because this is your co-third lord, the ruler of efforts, valor, courage, change, your younger siblings, growth, is making a transit in the 4th house of comfort, home, mother, your most protected place where you feel happy, where you feel content. This Rahu is your 3rd lord. So the lord of change is coming into your comfort space, which makes you step out of your comfort zone. And it might make you shift away from your home as well. In case you've been looking forward to settling outside of your home country, your Dasha, Antardasha, if that is supportive, you can expect some favorable decisions or actions during this time. In case there have been some delay as far as any paperwork related to government or public dealing is concerned, this could be a potentially favorable time or a transit for you. Your 2nd house and 3rd house are going to be pretty much active, because these two are the houses ruled by Saturn in your chart, the sign of Capricorn and the sign of Aquarius. Wealth creating opportunities. So I would advise you to start something where you can get a secondary source of income, but at the same time you would need to create a balance between your life and your family. That kind of bridge, you need to bridge that gap, you need to put a lot of focus. And another remedy for you would be to be very cautious of what you consume, what you eat. Have a balanced diet, have a very healthy diet during this time, because what you consume is going to be directly linked to your overall well-being and also your mental peace at the same time. Your 3rd house is going to be pretty much active, wherein you could expect change that is inevitable. You might need to put a lot more efforts in anything that you do, but from growth point of view, this could bring in more opportunities and new opportunities. Change is inevitable during this transit. Change is coming because it is a time that will make you step out of your comfort zone and do something which is different. Your 11th house is going to demonstrate positive results, because Saturn gets exalted in the sign of Libra, which is your 11th house. Expect gains, expect some material comforts or decisions. Expect an increase in your income, and that could be a positive sign. So in case you're expecting an increment, promotion, a rise in pay, incentive, this could be a potentially favorable time. Any new deal that you're trying to crack, any new business that you're trying to develop or establish, if you were to build your social network, your overall presence, that is going to increase. You're likely to influence other people. So if you're an influencer, you're going to build and have more followers. If you make content, you're going to have an increase as far as your following is concerned. And at the same time, your 5th house is likely to demonstrate some negative results. This could cause some corruption. Okay, so make sure that you keep your mind away from any corruptive idea during this time, any shortcuts. There are no shortcuts to success. There's only one way to success, and that is hard work and genuine efforts, which will always be long lasting and sustainable. So choose that path. Make sure that you stay connected with the children in case you have children, and at the same time, if your future looks uncertain, try to make the most of your present, and your actions are really going to determine what is going to be in store for you as far as your future is concerned. But from that aspect, it could be a bit challenging. So you might need some mantras during this time as far as remedy are concerned. Overall, I do consider this as a mixed transit, and I wish you the very best. Let us now talk about Capricorn ascendants and what's happening with Rahu's transit in Pisces. The last leg for Capricorn ascendants, Rahu is transiting in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn. It is already moved in this Nakshatra in the 4th pada, and it is going to stay in this nakshatra till 16th of March 2025. So over the next 7 to 8 months are quite crucial. This nakshatra is ruled by Saturn, which is your Lagna Lord. Rahu is the co-second lord for you, because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius and is making a transit in your 3rd house. Second lord in 3rd house, the lord of wealth, dhana, family, your comfort space, and at the same time what you consume, what you eat, your consumption, is making a transit in the 3rd house of growth, change, upachaya, younger siblings, communication. So change is inevitable as far as gain of income is concerned. So if you were to gain wealth, you have to change the way you do things. Expect changes in your life. This could be change of place, this could be change of job, or change of any kind of work that you do. 3rd house also indicates journeys that we take. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will go for travel. You might take up journeys related to travel, but it is the start of something which is new. Rahu, from a transit perspective and also from a placement point of view, does very well in the 3rd house, because this is the Upachaya Bhava, and Rahu loves to grow. Rahu is very hungry. It wants to consume everything. You have to pay careful attention to the houses ruled by Saturn, which is your Lagna Lord. So your 1st house and 2nd house are going to be pretty much active during this time. A lot of focus on yourself, your transformation, your intelligence, that is likely to increase during this time. You're going to increase and focus on your immunity, your vitality, your overall body, and your comfort space. So make sure that you exercise. This time period is going to bring in a lot of discipline in yourself. So you will have discipline in your eating habits, in your overall lifestyle, and some of the decisions that you make, which are going to be good for you. And your 2nd house, which is your family and your wealth. So make sure that you save during this time, okay? Because the more you save, you accumulate, it is going to be better for your future, and it will help you curtail and manage your expenses. So you need a lot of financial management during this time. So yourself, your family, and your finances, these are the 3 things that you will have to manage at the same time. So a lot of multitasking that you must do. So there is a kind of pressure that is building as far as family situation, as far as household situation is concerned. So try to stay focused on yourself as well. This time period demands transformation. It is going to be progressive for you, because your 10th house is going to demonstrate some positive results. This is where the sign of Libra is. Workplace, job, career, any sort of change that could come in case your dasha antardasha is supportive of this transit. So expect a good change in your workplace. Expect a more progressive Rahu's last leg of transit, because your 10th house, your actions in the society and what you do for yourself to sustain yourself, is going to change for good. On contrary, your 4th house is going to demonstrate some negative results. You will have to step out of your comfort zone. You might feel restless, you might feel stressed out, and at the same time you might feel that you do not have a very comfortable life. but this is making you work hard towards your own success, because when work will increase, you will have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to change. If you don't change, you are not going to sustain. So in order to sustain well, in order to grow well, embrace this change. And any change that comes as far as your workplace opportunities are concerned, this is going to be good for you. Okay. To channelize this change, use mantras related to Saturn or worship Lord Shiva during this time. This could be potentially favorable for you during this transit over the next 8 to 9 months. And I hope this is a good transit for you, and I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Aquarius Ascendants and what's happening with Aquarius Ascendants as far as Rahu's transit in Pisces and Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra is concerned. Rahu has already made this transit and is going to stay in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra till 16th of March. Now, I am trying to explain in very simple terms how to read this transit and what could you expect during this transit. Rahu is your co-lagna lord because it co-rules the sign of Aquarius, and this Rahu continues to make a transit in your second house in the sign of Pisces. Your co-lagnesha is in the Dhan Bhava, in the house of your family. So yourself has moved in the wealth house or the house of the family. So this is a natural Dhan Yoga or wealth yoga during this transit that Rahu is giving. But at the same time, Rahu might bring a bit of aggressiveness or an unexpected behavior as far as what you say, what you speak, and your eating habits are going to be pretty much erratic during this time. This is something that needs discipline. This is something which needs to be fixed during this time, what you say and what you consume. If you fix these two things, you're going to have a very successful Rahu's transit. You're going to earn wealth, you're going to save wealth, and of course you're going to spend your wealth in good things, in good deeds. Okay. You have to pay careful attention to the houses ruled by Saturn, which is your 12th house and your first house or the Lagna. Your 12th house is going to be pretty much active. Sleep, that needs focus. Good 8 hours plus of sleep, which will ensure that your day is energized, it is charged. If it is erratic, if it is inconsistent, it could cause some health issues. So make sure that you have a good night's sleep if you were to focus on your health and well-being. This is the testing time. Pressure is building up and you need to cope up with that pressure. Okay. Your first house, your ascendant, which is yourself, you have to be self-centered, you have to be selfish. Forget about what others say. Think about yourself, take decisions for your own self and stand by your decisions. Without getting bothered of what the world thinks about your decisions, you have to have conviction first. So this is going to increase your intelligence, learn something new, try to stay organized and try to embrace these disciplined qualities of your Lagna Lord Saturn, which is going to be helpful for you. Your decision making is going to be better over the next 7 to 8 months compared to how it has been in the past. Okay. Now during this transit, your 9th house is going to demonstrate positive results because this is a sign of Libra where Saturn gets exalted. Dharma is going to be positive. You are going to be very much focused towards dharma. You will take dharmic deeds, you will do rituals, you will perform some prayers, you will go on long journeys, you will take spiritual paths, trips. Travel is going to be fruitful during this time. Any journey that you take will bring in rejuvenation, will help you connect with your loved ones and dear ones, and at the same time go for higher learning. Pick up a course, try to learn something new, try to apply this learning in your life, and this will support your fortune or your bhagya during this time. At the same time, your 3rd house is going to demonstrate some negative results. So relationship with your siblings are going to be put at test, particularly if they're younger siblings. Your communication, there has to be a very differentiated approach. So make sure that you're cautious while communicating with others. Do not vent out your emotions on social media, for example. So be cautious about these things. Change is inevitable, change is coming. You might need someone's advice who could be a mentor, friend, guru, or your father during this time, which will be highly beneficial for you. Overall, I do consider this as a good transit for you, considering that you watch what you eat and you take care of your sleep. I wish you the very best. Now let's talk about Pisces Ascendants. For Pisces Ascendants, what's happening with Rahu's transit in the sign of Pisces? In your Lagna, Rahu has been making transit in your Lagna. Now it has moved to Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra, which is ruled by Saturn or Shani. This really depends on the natal placement of Guru in your chart and how that is placed. Rahu is the co-ruler of your 11th. Rahu is the co-ruler of your 12th house. Okay, it co-rules the sign of Aquarius, and it continues to make a transit in your ascendant in the sign of Pisces, now in the nakshatra of Uttarabhadrapad. So this is the ruler of your 12th house, which is the higher self-consciousness, your bed comforts, losses, expenditure, your ability to give and help others, hospitals. This is making a transit in your ascendant. It would have made you a lot giving in nature, a lot helpful in nature. It would have brought your ego down. This is a testing phase for you. There is pressure that is really building up in your ascendant. At the same time, you might have come across situations wherein you've made a bad decision, but you've learned from your decision. As long as you've learned and you take corrective steps for your near future, and if it helps you in any way, it is good. Now this Rahu is making a transit in Uttarabhadrapad Nakshatra. So we need to pay careful attention to the houses that are ruled by Saturn. So Saturn for you, it rules your 11th house and it rules your 12th house. So these two houses are going to be pretty much active during this time, which is Capricorn and Aquarius. So the house of gains, your material comforts and material life, your outer world, friends, your social wider network, your ability to influence others. So this is going to be pretty much active. So from that perspective, you could expect a rise in your income, you could expect gains, you could expect some promotion, you could expect some recognition as far as workplace is concerned. At the same time, your expenses will rise as well, because if your expenses rise, your income needs to rise. They are pretty much correlated to each other. But at the same time, focus on helping others, focus on giving, donate to those who need, donate in hospitals, donate to the overall well-being of people, to the well-being of the world, and of course nature. Try to connect with the nature. This could be a potential remedy for you. Go on journeys, go on far off distant places. This will bring you some peace and joy and reduce your levels of stress during this time. Now, you also need to pay careful attention to the house where Saturn gets exalted in your chart, which is your 8th house. Your 8th house is likely to demonstrate positive results. So from a transformation point of view, it is a good transformation. Any sudden change or event that happens, it is going to protect you. It is going to protect your longevity. It is also going to protect any unnecessary change. It will make you ready. It will make you prepared for it. Also from a wealth point of view, it could be good if you're expecting any sort of inheritance. This could be a potentially favorable time for you. In case you wish to learn astrology, occult, any hidden subjects, research related subjects, this could be a potentially favorable time for you. At the same time, your 2nd house is likely to demonstrate some negative results. So family focus could be your priority. You could face some issues as far as things or relationship with your family is concerned. Your eating habits, food, maybe you are traveling and you develop a very erratic habit as far as your eating is concerned. So that needs to be put at test. Your speech. So be very careful of what you say, how you say, and to who you are saying it, right? Because words, once the words are out, you can't take them back. So don't come into a stage of that you regret. So just be cautious of what you say and how you say it, all right? And your eating habits, that needs to be put at test. Otherwise, Rahu transiting in your ascendant, this is really pressure that's building up. But at the same time, you need to focus on your Lagna Lord. You to use remedies related to Jupiter. Look up to Jupiter, mantras related to Guru or Jupiter. That is going to help channelize this Rahu in a positive direction for your overall well-being. Overall, it is a mixed transit for you, and I wish you the very best. So this is about Rahu's last leg transit on sign of Pisces in the nakshatra of Uttarabhadrapad and how it will have an impact on all 12 ascendant signs. In case you like this video, please share it with your friends. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And I hope and believe Rahu's transit over the next few months in Uttarabhadrapad nakshatra, that is ruled by Saturn, brings a lot of discipline in life, brings good quality and meaningful work and some sort of purpose in our life. Thank you very much. God bless you all.